All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to talk about what really makes a great company tick. We're going to build the blueprint for high performance. And you know what? It all comes down to one thing: the individual worker. Let's get into it.
Have you ever looked at giants like Amazon or Google and just wondered, how do they do it? Year after year? Is it some secret sauce, a killer product, a brilliant strategy? Well, the real answer is actually a lot simpler. It's not about what they build, it's about who they build.
And there it is. That's the big secret we're unpacking today. You can have the most brilliant idea in the world, but if you don't get the people part right, none of it matters. At the end of the day, a great organization is just a collection of great individuals working together. So how do we do it? Well, it breaks down into 4 fundamental pillars.
First things first, you have to get the right people in the door. And we're not talking about luck or some vague gut feeling here. Pillar number 1 is all about treating hiring like a science. I mean, just look at this contrast. On the left, you've got the old way. It's basically a shot in the dark, right? A quick chat, a handshake, it's just riddled with bias. And then you've got the scientific way. It's structured, it's driven by data, and it's designed to replace those unreliable gut feelings with actual solid insights. This is how you find the people who will truly thrive.
So where does this scientific process even begin? It starts right here, with what's called a job analysis. Before you even think about writing a job post, you have to go deep. What does success in this role actually look like? What skills, behaviors, even personality traits are non-negotiable? Because if you don't know exactly what you're looking for, how on earth are you going to find it? You're building a detailed blueprint of the perfect candidate, so you're not just hoping for the best.
Okay, so once you have that blueprint, the steps are actually pretty straightforward. You assess candidates using objective tools, like psychometric tests, which are basically designed to give you a peek under the hood to see how someone thinks and how they're likely to act on the job. Then, the interviews are structured. Everyone gets the same core questions. This lets you compare people fairly, based on substance, not just on who's the most charming. Jeff Bezos just absolutely nailed it with this quote. Getting hiring right isn't just a small win, it's a massive advantage. A great hire is a force multiplier. But a bad hire? Think about it. It's not just about the salary you wasted. It's a huge energy drain on the whole team. It kills morale, and it sucks up a manager's time like you wouldn't believe. The ripple effects are just enormous.
Okay, so you've hired a brilliant person. Your job is done, right? Huh, not even close. Now you have to tap into what drives them. So pillar number 2 is all about cracking the code on motivation.
You've probably heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Well, it applies perfectly here. The idea is simple. You just can't expect someone to be their most creative, innovative self if they're stressed about paying the rent or worried their job isn't secure. You've got to cover the basics first: fair pay, a stable environment. Only then can people even begin to think about reaching their full potential. Now, Hertzberg's theory is where this gets really interesting. He made this amazing distinction. Think of the stuff on the left, fair salary, job security, as hygiene factors. They're like plumbing. If your faucet is leaking, it's super annoying and you need to fix it. But once it's fixed, you don't walk around all day thinking, wow, I love my non-leaky faucet. They just prevent dissatisfaction. The real magic, the stuff that actually gets people excited to come to work, is on the right. That's growth, recognition, and feeling like your work actually matters.
And Tony Robbins just hits the nail on the head with this one. When you see someone who seems unmotivated, it's almost never about laziness. It's about a disconnect. They can't see the why behind what they're doing. Great leaders and great companies are masters at connecting those day-to-day tasks to a bigger, meaningful mission. All right, this is all building on itself. So let's talk about pillar number 3. You've hired great people, you've figured out how to motivate them, now you invest in them. This is where we have to flip the script on how we think about training. It's not a cost center. It's a strategic investment that turns your people into a competitive advantage.
But here's the thing. A lot of corporate training is, well, it's broken. It doesn't work the way our brains do. So how do our brains actually learn? It's not about sitting in a boring 8-hour lecture. No way. Our brains love small, bite-sized pieces. That's chunking. They remember things way better when learning is spaced out over time. And most of all, we learn by doing, using real-world scenarios, not just theory.
So, when you do it right, what's the payoff? Well, great training delivers on 3 fronts. First, there's knowledge, the what. Second, skills, the how. But the third one is the real game changer, mindset. This is about how people think, how they approach challenges, and how they collaborate.
At the end of the day, it's all about this huge mental shift. There's a reason the big tech companies invest billions in their people. They know that a workforce that is constantly learning and growing is their single greatest weapon. Every dollar spent on the right kind of development is an investment in your company's future. And this leads us perfectly into our 4th and final pillar. And folks, this one is huge. It's time to completely demolish the idea of the dreaded once-a-year performance review and embrace a system that actually works.
I mean, the contrast here is night and day. The old way is basically an annual judgment day. It's all about looking in the rearview mirror, pointing out what went wrong. The modern way is about looking forward. It's not about judgment, it's about coaching. It's a continuous conversation designed for one thing: growth. So what does good coaching, good feedback actually sound like? Well, for starters, it's never personal. It needs to be specific. It has to be respectful. It focuses on behavior, what you did, not on your personality, who you are. And critically, it has to be timely and give you a clear path forward.
And this really redefines what it means to be a manager today. Their job isn't to be a boss who punishes. It's to be a coach who guides, supports, and clears roadblocks. You get that part right, and performance takes care of itself.
Okay, let's pull all these threads together. Because when you get these 4 pillars right, what you're really doing is building the unshakable foundation for an amazing organization. So here it is, the blueprint in a nutshell. You start by hiring with science, so you get the absolute best people in the door. Then you tap into their motivation by connecting them to a purpose. After that, you invest in them, helping them grow. And finally, you manage them with the coaching mindset. Nail these 4 things and everything else, the culture, the productivity, the results, it all follows.
And really, who could say it better than Warren Buffett? It's so simple but so powerful. Your company is your people. That's it. If you focus on building them up, they will build the company for you. And look, this isn't some magic bullet or a quick fix. Every single great hire, every newly motivated team member, every new skill someone learns, it's like putting money in a compounding interest account. It builds on itself, creating this incredible momentum and a culture of excellence that is just impossible for your competitors to copy.
So I want to leave you with a question. Think about your own workplace and these 4 pillars: hiring, motivation, development, and coaching. Honestly, which one is the weakest link? Because finding that weak spot, that's the starting line for building something truly exceptional. Thanks for watching.